So listen, there's this crazy hack going on right now that's allowing people to get 0% interest business funding from American Express without actually having a business yet. So if you're looking for funding, you'll definitely want to stay tuned to this whole entire video. We're going to break down all the data points and go directly to the page and show you what you need to put on the application to get approved. So let's head over to my computer and break everything down. All right, so we're at my computer and we got our data point sheet pulled up, and we're going to go ahead and start letting you know what you need to get approved for this hack. So the first thing on the list is you need to have a 680 credit score. This is the absolute minimum credit score that you need to have. Really, you want to have above 700 to be honest, but 680 is the absolute minimum. Underwriting has gotten really tight over the last 6 to 12 months, especially with business funding. So again, 680 is the absolute minimum credit score that you need to have. So the next thing is they're going to pull from Experian FICO 8. So if you don't know what your Experian score is, you want to go to Experian.com. If you don't have an account, get a free one, and you'll be able to get your Experian credit report and check everything out. All right. So sometimes they do pull from TransUnion too. We have seen them double pull from time to time, but it's always going to be Experian in addition to TransUnion if it's both. But you definitely want to make sure Experian is up to par. So the next thing is you want to have no collections, no charge-offs, no BKs, tax liens, public records. All that needs to be completely clean to increase your approval odds. Honestly, if you have any collections, they're going to just automatically deny you anyway. So you want to make sure all this stuff is ready to go and clean. Now, this next one is very important. No late pays in the last 2 years. All right. Preferably none at all. Okay. Late pays, I know it's kind of a common thing that people might have late pays, but typically for a lot of lenders, as long as they're past 2 years, you can kind of get past it. But even then, sometimes it can cause denial. So if possible, try to have those late pays completely wiped off, have them clean. If you do have them, they need to be past 2 years old. Just make sure you get an Experian free account, and then you'll be able to make sure those late pays are in order. So I know a lot of people want those big 20K, 30K limits, but it helps if you have other personal credit cards with high limits. So 2 years ago, you could go in there and get a 20K, 30K business credit card without having big limits on the personal side. But now, again, as I've said, underwriting has changed. So you want to make sure that you do have those 20K, 30K limits on the personal side if that's the limits that you're aiming for. Now, if you have 5 to 10K limits, you're probably going to get 10K limits on a business credit card. So that's just how it works. So this next one is very crucial. You want to make sure your utilization is under 10%. Really, you want to have it as close to 1% as you possibly can. And this also plays a factor into how much you're going to get approved for. Put yourself in the bank's shoes. If you owe another bank X amount of dollars, why would they give you more money, right? And pile on to that. So that's kind of how that works. And so utilization needs to be very, very low. This also can increase your limits. The lower that this is, the higher your chances of getting a higher limit are. Now, you can avoid a hard inquiry if you already have a personal Amex. So a lot of people don't know this. Sometimes people will just go straight for a business card, which is, okay. But if you want to kind of lessen the blow, so to speak, then you can go get a personal card first, which always helps. And then you can go and get a business credit card after, because now it'll be a soft pull instead of a hard pull. This is a common thing with American Express. Once you get in their ecosystem, then they don't usually hard pull you anymore, and it'll be all soft pulls to get your approvals. So no more than 2 new accounts in the last 3 months. This is a big one too. You don't want to look thirsty for credit. That's how they think. If you have 2, 3, 4 new accounts and you're trying to go apply for them, they're going to automatically deny you. So make sure no more than 2 new accounts in the last 3 months. All right, so now that we got all the data points out of the way, we can go ahead and start looking at some of the business credit cards for American Express. So I'm gonna move myself right here. A lot of times people want to go get the business platinum card, or they want to go get the Amex gold card. But these cards are charge cards, and when you're trying to get business funding, especially if you're a startup, you want to go after 0% interest business credit. Okay, that's just the best way to go for a business credit card. Try to maximize on that funding with no interest, so you can have time to kind of grow and get your business off the ground and all that stuff like that. So the charge cards aren't the best for that. These are like a later play in the game. So what you really want to look at is the Blue Business Plus credit card, and then you also want to look at the American Express Blue Business Cash card as well. My personal preference is to go with the Blue Business Plus credit card because you get 2x on all purchases up to $50K, and that's MR points. And so I'm kind of getting into like rewards and stuff like that. I won't dive into that too much in this video, but it is helpful to get 2x on all purchases with your business credit card. So that is the one I would suggest is to go for this one because it has 0% interest, and we're going to dive into that on the next page. All right, so like I was saying, that 2x membership reward points up to $50,000 and then 1 point thereafter. No annual fee, which is what we want for business credit cards. And like I said, 0% interest for 12 months. All right. That is exactly what we need if we're trying to get business funding. So, some other little perks and stuff like that, but I want to get into too much of that. We're going to go ahead, hit the apply now button, and let's go ahead and try to get this going. All right, so we're on the apply page, and if you already have a personal Amex, then you can just log in. As you see the button right up here, you can just log in, and then all your information will pop in for the most part, and then you just have to put in a couple more details, and then you'll be good to go. So for everybody else, let's go ahead and walk through it. Email address, self-explanatory. Now, this is where it gets interesting. So for the legal business name, like I told you guys, you don't have to actually have a business to get this card. You can apply with your personal SSN and get a business credit card, and it won't show up on the personal side. Crazy, I know. Trust me, we're going to go ahead and break it down right now. So for a legal business name, you're actually going to put your real first and last name. So if your name is, let's just say Thomas Jones, that's what you're going to put. All right. So then you're going to check the box company does not have a DBA. So for business address, just put your home address. That's all you need to do there. And then secondly, zip code, all that. And then business phone number, you can put your personal phone number in there as well. So for the industry type, you can put whatever industry that you're interested in. I wouldn't put real estate because that's a high risk industry. To be honest, you can just do other. That's just the safest bet. And then company structure, you're going to do sole proprietorship, all right? Because that's what we're applying as using our personal SSN. And then years in business, you can just do, less than a year. If you've been kind of doing some business on the side here and there, whatever, how many years you've been doing it, you can put that in. That's not really important. Now, what you do want to know is in the United States of America, if you've done any type of business transaction, which that could be you sold something to your friend, you sold something to your auntie, you fixed your uncle's TV and he paid you, that's a business transaction. Technically, you're in business, right? That's how this hack works. So that's how you're able to do that. So, you can just put less than a year or, whatever you want to put there. It's not really that important. Number of employees, just one, which is yourself, and an annual business revenue. This is where people get confused. Now, if you're a sole prop, if you really are doing business revenue, then you're going to put that, right? You can just put, typically what we have people do is just do $1,000 if you don't have anything. And that works perfectly fine. And then for estimated monthly spend, you're going to put what really you're going to want to be spending. So let's just say $7,000. Now, this does kind of play into what the limit is going to be. If they think you're going to be spending, or if you tell them for the estimated monthly spend, you're going to be spending more, then they'll factor that in to giving you a higher limit as well. So we like to put, a little bit more. Don't do nothing too crazy though, but 3,000, 5,000, something like that. That's totally fine. So role in the company, you're going to put owner. Okay. And then right here is just real self-explanatory. If you already have a personal Amex, all this stuff is going to be filled out already. But if not, go ahead and put your, first name, middle initial. If you have one, last name on a card, which is going to be your first and last name. And then put your address. It could be the same as the business address. Like I said, because that's your, your home address. So put that. It's the same thing. And then you're going to put your SSN. All right, your date of birth. All right, so total annual income. This is where it gets interesting. A lot of people don't know what I'm about to say, but you can put your household income as your total annual income. It's not illegal to do that by any stretch. So let's just say you're married, or you got a girlfriend or something like that, whatever it is, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, or significant other, And let's say you make $50,000 and then your partner makes $50,000. So right here, you could put $100,000 right here, because that's your total income for the house, right? It's household income. All right. And then non-taxable income would be, if you get any type of spousal support, child support, government assistance, anything like that, that's not taxable, that's income still, you can put that there. All right. Now, another thing I want to touch on annual income. Do not go too crazy on this. OK, don't put that you make $250,000, because what Amex does a lot of times, especially right now, they're doing income verification. All right. So what they're going to do is they're going to ask you to link your personal bank account to their system so they can see that you're actually making that money. So that's why you don't want to get too crazy. If you really only make 75,000, put 75,000, because right now they are doing income verifications for a lot of different people. So you don't want to get into that ball game where you said you made 180,000, but you really only make 80, and then they say, hey, link your account, you're gonna get denied anyway, because they're gonna see you're not making that. So just be truthful. Put your real income there. Like I said, if you do have a spouse and maybe you guys share a bank account, stuff like that, or you have somebody that you live with, you can put household income and that works totally fine. But outside of that, really put what you can prove. That's all I'm saying. Put what you can prove there, and then you'll be good to go. All right. And then tell us where to send the bill. That's self-explanatory. If the same address, so you could just select whichever one. If you really do have a business address and you want to send it there, that's totally fine. All right. And then you just go through this. If you want to tell you the introductory rate and all that good stuff and all your terms and conditions, you can go through and read that if you would like. And then that is it, guys. You'll submit the application and then boom. So a lot of times you can get a automatic approved for this. If your credit profile is unlocked, everything matches up. Sometimes they'll do a internal review usually. And so it'll go to that page, and then you'll have to call in through a backdoor number, or have to wait for them to reach out. All right. So that's the formula for this hack. I hope this was helpful for you guys. If you got any questions at all, let me know in the comments if you're having trouble. Also, I'm going to put a link in the comments, and I'm going to pin it to my referral link. So you guys can go ahead and just click that link and apply if you want to use this hack. If you don't have a full entity set up yet, but you want to get some business funding, you can use this hack. I'll put my link in there, and then you'll be able to go ahead and apply directly from the link. So I hope this video was helpful to you. Go ahead and smash that like button if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel as well. I'm going to have a startup funding masterclass coming up pretty soon. I'm going to drop it on the channel. It's going to be a whole video breaking down how to get business funding if you're a startup. So go ahead and make sure you're subscribed for that, and stay tuned. And again, let me know in the comments if you have any questions on this hack or anything that I said in this video. All right. And I'll see you guys in the next one.